Well, hello and welcome to today's episode of Need I Say Myrrh, the Christmas podcast. And today I am delighted to be joined by Amanda Robbie. Hello, Amanda.
Hi, nice to see you.
Yeah, it's good that you're waving, even though this is an audio podcast. That's good that people can experience the waving. It's good for you to join us today. Would you like to introduce yourself? Who are you? Where are you? And what do you do?
So, my name's Amanda Robbie. I am the Vicar's wife, which is my Twitter handle, and I have put myself out there as the Vicar's wife for the nation. So, I do have a blog of that name, which I used to write on very regularly. It's much more sporadic now, but I started writing it probably 16, 17 years ago now. So it's seen a lot of time, and now I am. Uh, my children have left home, so I'm at home with my husband, who's a vicar in West Bromwich, and I have three adult children, a large lurcher, and I do sort of committee stuff. I'm like some sort of old-fashioned vicar's wife. I'm a trustee of CPAS, for people might be familiar with Ventures and Falcons and various other things, and I go to meetings a lot. I'm the lay chair of our diocesan synod, and I'm on general synod. Oh.
Hmm. Yeah, terms that mean nothing to nonconformists, but
No, I go to lots of meetings about governance.
there we go.
But
Yeah.
actually, my strapline is trying to make the Church of England less bad.
Well, that's a mission I can fully support. So there
Yeah,
we
and
go.
it's a slightly achievable aim. Like, I don't want
Okay.
anything big,
Yes.
but making it slightly less bad would be good.
Well, there we go. Yeah, we are with you in that, Amanda. And you have put some effort into making your both environment and appearance more festive today. Do you want to describe for people who are just listening to this?
Yeah, so I dived into our Christmas boxes. I got some tinsel out, so I'm looking like a primary school nativity play angel with tinsel in my hair. I have an angel, lit up angel, behind me on the very messy set of shelves, and we also have a joy sort of decoration which went up one Christmas above our log burning stove and has never come down because I like to be reminded to be joyful.
Yeah. Yeah, joy is not just a Christmas thing, is it?
No,
It's
that's right.
more of us should have the word joy up in our house. I think that'd probably make the Church of England a bit less bad if everyone had
Yes,
joy.
yes.
Exactly, there we go. Anyway, we've got some questions that I'll ask you that I've asked everyone else, and I'm asking everyone else on this podcast, and we'll go through them. And the first question is, what is your favourite Christmas decoration?
So this is quite an interesting question because actually one of my things I really like to do is buy a new Christmas decoration every year. So actually, probably it's whatever I will buy this year.
Mhm.
So over the years, we've lived in different places. When I first got married, we were living in Cambridge. Then we moved to Malaysia and Singapore, and then we've been in London and Wolverhampton and West Brom. And in all those places, I've bought a different Christmas decoration. So yeah, I like ones which have glass in them, which are shiny, really shiny.
Also high risk if they break. So
Yes, and yeah, some of them a bit heavy as well. Glass decorations can be a bit heavy, but shiny ones.
yeah, we have the same tradition as you of we get a new decoration. The four of us every year get a new decoration. I can't remember what I got last year. Do you remember what you got as your decoration last year?
No, not at all.
No? Okay.
When I dig them out, I will probably think, oh, this is the newer one.
What we'd like to know is once you get your new one for this year, if you send us a message, then when we have our correspondence episode late in the series, we can share what your thing is. If you send us a photo, we can share that on social media as well. And just a reminder, we do welcome correspondence for this podcast. If you send an email to needisaymyrrh@gmail.com, it's needisaymyrrh@gmail.com. That's good. I think it's good to have those traditions where you get mix of decorations. Do you tend to go like so you mentioned you like glass things.
Yeah.
Do you go for quite an ordered aesthetic?
No. It's so we've got we live in a Victorian vicarage, so got 10-foot ceilings. So we like to get a really tall tree and no tinsel. I know last year there was big discussion about what you
Yes.
anyway, no
Yeah.
tinsel on our tree, but silver baubles, white light, silver baubles, and then eclectic decorations. Yeah, so that
Mhm.
sort of feeling that you've one from here, one from there. When we lived in Singapore one year, my our family came for Christmas, and everyone brought a Christmas. I asked them all to bring a Christmas decoration to donate. So
Mhm.
yeah, very sort of eclectic. But I do move them if children decorate in the past. I like them evenly distributed. You know, everyone puts them up, and then I take a long view and do some adjustment.
Yeah. Yeah. Our children are 9 and 6, so we have to do a bit of that as well. But there we
Yeah,
go.
otherwise they're
And
all on the bottom
yes,
branches, aren't they? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah, so that's the decorations. We should talk about food.
Mm.
And this season I'm asking, what is your least favorite festive food?
So I love food. I love to bake, and if anyone follows me online, they and even on my blog, they will see lots of food. So I'm very much the traditional vicar's wife in that regard. In fact, my Christmas cake is in the oven as we speak.
Wow. Mm.
Yeah, a nice scent of Christmas cake. Anyway, I always found dried fruit not my favorite thing. So that meant Christmas pudding, mince pies with like a deep filled Christmas mince pies, terrible, and Christmas cake, not a fan. But what I've done is I've learned to adapt. So I make my own mince pies, which have very flaky pastry and hardly any mincemeat, which then, if you cook it the right way, sort of caramelizes, tastes completely different. I've started making my own Christmas cake and having that with large amounts of cheese to balance it out.
Mhm.
And then Christmas pudding, we always in our family have syllabub, which is an old English traditional dessert, which is basically cream, sherry, and lemon juice with some sugar. And basically, if you get the basically, you can have a tiny amount of Christmas pudding, a large amount of syllabub, and that tastes pretty good.
There we go. That's some useful recipe tips for anyone else in a similar kind of situation.
Yes.
And do you have a preferred type of cheese to go with your Christmas pudding?
Actually, any cheese. We often get cheese for Christmas.
Mhm.
With Christmas cake, that's with Christmas cake.
Yeah, yes, yeah, yeah. Christmas cake,
Quite
yes.
like a strong cheddar or a red Leicester, one of those sort of quite sort of piquant
Hmm.
English cheeses. Yeah.
Hmm. And on a similar cheese theme, obviously one of the other controversies of the previous series was Mark Broadway's proposal of taking a mince pie, taking the top off and adding blue cheese inside. Is that something you've tried with your mince pie recipes?
So I think I might have tried that after he mentioned it, but my mince pies don't have tops really. They have
Okay.
the big that's slightly large. I mean, they're all tiny. The
Hmm.
slightly larger ones have stars on them, but actually, I make quite a lot of mini mince pies. So then, but yeah, so you eat it in a mouthful, and
Hmm.
very nice with a bit of cheese on the side
Yeah.
as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I sometimes eat standard mince pies in a mouthful as well, but there we go. Should we talk about Christmas Eve, which is coming up very soon? So, what Christmas Eve traditions do you have?
Yeah, so it's quite funny. Like three young adult children now, things have changed quite a lot. We probably did quite a lot more routine when they were small. I asked in the family WhatsApp what would our Christmas Eve traditions to try and get contribution. There was quite a lot of mention of scrabbling around to find the stockings and not quite remembering which one belonged to whom, and also there was always one missing. So that's pretty good Christmas tradition. We do
Hmm.
a lot of cooking, so that's you know brining the turkey crown is what I do. We went through a phase of always having cooking a big gammon and eating some of that on Christmas Eve, and then having the rest for Boxing Day. So you're not cooking that on Christmas Day, and always serve that with Christmas salad, for which the recipe is on my blog. Red cabbage salad, which is really nice if you want something lighter because you want to pace yourself for Christmas eating.
Definitely, yes.
In the early days when we were here in parish, my husband had Neil had a midnight service. So he would go off to the midnight service and I would wrap the stockings. So that was like late night wrapping. That I mean,
Hmm.
parents everywhere, sort of having to stay up but not really wanting to. Yeah, that's.
Yes.
But
Hmm.
we've shelved that service now
Yeah.
for the good of everyone.
Yes.
Always get on my kids' Christmas PJs. That
Yep.
started
Hmm.
later, but now it's very popular with the young adults. They like a new pair of
Hmm.
pajamas.
Are they matching or non-matching?
So a bit of a mix, yeah. Oh, not matching with each other, no.
Okay.
Absolutely not. Not into that. And not for the grown-ups. Not for the grown-ups.
Okay. So mainly food related traditions.
Yes. Oh, although there, obviously, I try and listen to the Nine Lessons and Carols from King's College,
Mhm.
but also playing continuous carols. And particularly, I like to play an album which my dad used to play for all of Advent by a group called Sneaks Noise.
Never heard of them.
It's folk carols.
Okay. I'll have to have a listen.
Yes, I there was a point in our marriage where I was banned from playing it apart from in Advent because I just used to play it all the time.
Yeah, I'll have to have a listen to that. That sounds good. Final question. Your favorite Christmas carol? No doubt you have been to many carol services in your life.
Yes, yes, many. So I actually I want to give you an Advent carol from Sneaks Noise,
Okay.
because it's the most beautiful words, and it's hardly ever sung. And basically, if you unless you get the Sneaks Noise version, you're not going to get the right version because it's a carol which starts, "This is the truth sent from above." That's what it's called. And there are sort of 10 verses, if you know, it's actually called the Herefordshire Christmas Carol. But in the Sneaks Noise version, they just sing the first 5 verses. And the final verse is just this really poignant verse. Thus, we were heirs to endless woes, because it goes through the fall. It tells the story. It's like a Bible overview. It's like a 9 lessons and carols in a carol.
Hmm.
But the 5th verse, which I just love, thus we were heirs to endless woes, till God the Lord did interpose, and so a promise soon did run, that he would redeem us by his son. It's just beautiful. And it's this in its sort of minor key, and it's just this sort of aching for the promise. And I sort of, yeah, I mean, I love Christmas carols. I loved, all the classics, love to sing the descants, squeak the descants. But that sort of aching and longing for the coming of Christ is something that, yeah, really fills me with a sort of, yeah, it's a sort of a joy because I know he's come. So it's that sort of tension. And yeah, so
Yeah, knowing he's come, I look forward to him coming again.
yeah, and coming again. So that tension, that
Mhm.
full redemption that we're longing for, that's, something that really speaks to me and sort of helps me to navigate life when things are hard. Yeah, we're looking
Mhm.
forward to the full redemption.
Yeah, that's it. It's an important thing to keep remembering in the more difficult moments of life.
And sometimes Christmas is a difficult
Mhm.
time. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's busy and painful. Actually, especially in ministry,
Mhm.
it can't. You're sharing people's pain and bearing their burdens. So to know that the redemption is coming is great.
Yeah, I'll have to have a listen to that. Yes, that's
I'll send you a link.
yeah. Thank you. Those are wonderful words. So thank you, Amanda. Thank you for joining us, and we hope that you have a very happy Christmas.
And also with you.
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas.